Hi guys, William Morris here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new library from Heavyocity, which is the next installment of the Mosaic series, and this time it's all centered around pads. So the library is made from both the full and player versions of Kontakt. You'll need 6.7.1 or above, and it will take up just about 5 gigabytes of your hard drive space. The library is currently on intro pricing of $99, and that moves to $119 later on. There is also a further discount, and that's available to owners of the other Mosaic series products. So the library utilizes Heavyocity's Mosaic engine, which I've covered in a few other of the Mosaic videos and reviews. But in short, each patch is divided into 3 different layers, which you can control individually. And most of them also have an amount of automation built in, which you can control with this big central dial or your mod wheel. And you can see as I move this up and down, it's controlling this EQ parameter. And over here, it's controlling the gate parameter. I'll try and show a bit more of the UI as we go through some more of the patches, because it's really full-featured. It's a great UI, the Mosaic one. All right, so let's have a listen to some of the sounds. And as you can see, everything is contained in this one Kontakt instrument. And you navigate the patches by using the snapshot menu up here. So it's divided into 3 groups. We have Tonal Pads, Atonal Pads, and Chordal Pads. So let's take a listen to the first sound. This one's called Grandfather Clock. You can see below, this is what it's made up of. So as you can hear, there's a lot going on, a lot of kind of evolving sounds during, but if we break it down into layers, I can try and let you sort of hear what's going on. So this is just soloing layer 1, this fragile metal. And then you have this secondary layer. That's kind of a feedback layer, which is sort of swelling in and out. Then we have this final one. And that's a kind of noise layer, which again is kind of ebbing and flowing throughout the patch. I would say when you go through this library, it's good to get into the habit of breaking these patches down, because I would say that the patches as is are quite sort of full featured in that they're doing quite a lot for a pad. I tend to think, pads are generally quite minimal, but these do quite a lot. So they're almost like a full sort of mini cue on their own. So just bear that in mind when you're listening to them, that they can all be sort of stripped down quite a lot and have those effects parameters removed as well. All right, let's take a listen to another one from the tonal category. So on this one, as you can hear, there's a big part of the sound which is this kind of filter being swept up and down along with that rhythmic motif. But if you want, you can just turn that off. You can also go into the filter itself and sort of see which channels it's been placed on. So at the minute it's activated on all 3 channels, so it's acting more like a sort of master filter, but this is with it turned off. So a lot subtler. I'm just trying to give you an idea of the sort of shaping possibilities you've got, and they're nice and easy to do. They're really sort of well implemented. Heavyocity always do really cool UIs. So that was Machine Heart. Let's maybe we'll do a few more of these kind of gritty ones. Let's try anomaly detection. It's cool, I like that one. These gritty ones kind of have a bit of a sci-fi vibe going on. Everything's kind of quite synthy. I'm just gonna have a listen and see what these are individually. So that's a big part of the sound, that one. Yeah, and this is more like a sort of whispering wind texture on top. It's nice underneath. See, a lot of these, I mean, they do work basically on their own, you know, the individual layers as a nice pad as well. All right, let's try one more from this category and then we'll move on. Yeah, they're cool. All right, so that was some of the gritty ones, but let's try a few of the mellow ones as well. It definitely feels like it does have a sci-fi vibe to it as well, and even some of the names kind of make me think of that kind of genre. So kind of synthy choral sort of thing going on. Yeah, that's really cool, that one. Much more playable if you wanted to kind of put a lead line in it. Just see what that one's from. Okay, so that's sort of like muted Celeste kind of thing. Yeah, that's the kind of more lead element. Yeah, they've been put together really nicely because that on its own isn't sort of super exciting, but you can just kind of have all 3 and that's, you know, that'll be most of a cue there. All right, let's do a couple more of these. It's nice. I like how that kind of all radio transmission kind of thing comes in. Yeah, that's cool. And again, this one's been kind of using the filter quite a lot, but obviously you can turn it off if you don't want it. You can also sort of alter how much it sweeps just by using these sliders. And I believe this one here just reverses the motion of it. So I could set it to do a really sort of minimal movement. So yeah, tons of possibilities. All right, let's do one more of these and then we'll move on. Let's try this Mariana Trench one. It's nice. It does actually make me think of the ocean. That kind of peaceful vibe going on. All right, so that was the tonal category. Now let's get into some of the atonal stuff. Just one bank here, so let's just start at the beginning. These ones are definitely going to favor a bit more of a wonky kind of approach, just because they are sort of more atonal. All right, so let's pick another one. This one sounds spooky. Let's go for this. That's cool, nice and minimal. This one is still 3 layers. So we've got this dark fog. And we've got Glass Requiem. So in this one, they're all doing a pretty similar thing, but they're just different sort of textures, I guess. And then finally, the Demon Machine. Nice. All right, let's try a few more. Yeah, nice. They've got a nice balance of movement. It sort of feels like, you know, there's stuff going on, but it's not too overwhelming and it doesn't kind of move too far away from what the patch is. Let's do a couple more. Try Hallowed Dunes. Someone's got this kind of, I think it's this layer probably. Yeah. All right, let's do one more. Yeah, pretty full on this one. Let's break it down again. So even that one layer is doing quite a lot for a pad. So yeah, I mean, you start with this amount of patches, but really all of them have got kind of 3 pretty usable layers within them. And obviously all of these you can swap out layers as well for anything else in the library, which is a really cool feature as well. It's all been categorized here on the left hand side, so you can kind of browse it a bit easier. All right, so that was some of the atonal ones. Final category now is the chordal ones. And these are all ones where the tuning has been altered per layer to kind of create a chord or some sort of harmony. So I'd suggest playing all of these as single notes, because obviously you're going to sort of play the root, and as you can see here, this second layer has been tuned up as well as the third one. So I'm thinking maybe these are more sort of like a root chord that's just going to sit under everything else. But obviously you can adjust all of these tunings if you need to. So let's take a listen to the first one, Colors of Zen. So as the name implies, we've got a kind of really peaceful Zen-like sort of sound going on there. Let's try another one. I think it might have been nice if these were tuned to make up a particular chord, that was sort of written somewhere, and then that way browsing through you could sort of easily see what kind of thing they might be going for off the bat. But let's have a listen to this one. All right, nice. Yeah, so some of these seem to be a little bit more peaceful so far. Let's see if we can find a dark one maybe. Haunting Artifacts sounds like it might be. Yeah, kind of cool. Got a, yeah, this sort of bit crusher artifact thing going on that one. Try minor moves. Does seem to be an odd thing when you change patches that sometimes you get a little burst of sound coming through. It's almost like it's remembering the last key you pressed when you switch patches. Yeah, that's cool. I kind of like these, but I think maybe the other categories are a bit more useful. I think these are going to be maybe a tricky to kind of implement into a track, just because they're sort of set at a particular tuning. And obviously you can change that, but you'd have to kind of do that either via automation or maybe putting in sort of multiple patches. Okay, let's just do a couple more of these. Try sky animation. So in here, on this one, you can hear there's some gating going on. It's just on this first channel here. But as you can see, everything's really easily editable in terms of rhythms and stuff like that. So if in any patch you kind of hear a rhythm that you're not too fond of, then you can, it's pretty easy to change it, which is nice. Okay, let's do one more. Let's try widening chords. Nice. I like that kind of overdrive thing that's creeping in on the end of the notes there. Yeah, I hope that gives you an overview of some of the different categories. I definitely think that maybe I prefer the tonal and the atonal categories. I think that's probably going to get the bulk of the use. And the chordal one's nice to have, but I think just from a practical standpoint, it might be a bit trickier to implement into a track. But yeah, overall, cool library as always from Heavyocity. I think if you're looking to do sci-fi cinematic scoring or actually a lot of ambient and chill out stuff, there's some really nice kind of peaceful sounds in here as well. I do really like the engine. Everything's really easy to mold to what you want it to do, maybe with the exception of this chordal category with the tunings. I think sometimes a pads library can be a bit of a difficult sell just because a lot of people have probably got quite a lot of pads and then maybe one of the easier sort of instruments to make yourself. But I think at this price point and with the amount of material in here and the ease of sort of shaping that material, this could still be a good addition to your template. It's actually the second pad library being sent this month as well, because I got the Man Makes Noise Transmissions library previously, which was also a sort of sci-fi influenced library. I'd say that one's definitely got more of a unique and kind of characterful sound, and maybe this Heavyocity one is sort of a bit broader in its approach. But both have their place, definitely. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up from me, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough and review. I'm really trying to get the length of these videos down, just because going by the watch time, it sort of feels like people want a more compact video. So I'm trying my best at that. But if there's anything you think I could skip or miss out, let me know in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any questions, as always, let me know in the comments. If not, I'll see you again on the next one.